if this was the guy next door, the minute he said, oh, yeah, I'm sleeping with little boys around the block, he'd be tarred and feathered.
But Michael Jackson isn't the guy next door. He's a 46-year-old superstar who continued to have boys sleeping over. When the interview began, Jackson took the boy off for a private chat, according to the boy's grand jury testimony reported by ABC News. The boy said Michael asked him if he wanted to be an actor and that this was his audition. Jackson wanted him to say good things about him, grab his hand and act like Michael was his father. What is it about Michael that makes him connect so well with children? What is it?
Because he's really a child at heart. He acts just like a child. He knows how a child is. He knows what a child thinks.
Were your parents happy that you were here with Michael?
Yeah, my mom was all very, very, very happy. And I know they're happy because I was happy.
Did they come with you?
Yeah, most of the times, but I wasn't really with my parents. I was mainly with Michael.
But they were happy that you were here?
Yeah. There was one night I stood in there, I asked him if I could stay in his bedroom. And he let me stay in the bedroom. And I was like, Michael, you can sleep on the bed. And he was like, no, you sleep on the bed, sleep on the bed. We're like, no.
The boy stunned the world by exposing how Jackson, the superstar, was still openly inviting young boys into his bedroom, although Jackson says he slept on the floor.
And then he finally said, okay, if you love me, you sleep on the bed. I was like, oh, man.
When I heard those words, if you love me, it sent chills down my spine because those are classic pedophile words. If you love me, you will do this.
Appropriate for a man. Psychiatrist Carol Lieberman was so alarmed by what she claimed were clear signs of abuse that she filed a complaint with the Santa Barbara authorities, a complaint that was later dismissed.
Is leaning against Michael's shoulder, looking up with these puppy dog eyes. He's just so submissive to Michael. You can tell how much control Michael has over him.
Why can't you share your bed? The most loving thing to do is to share your bed with someone.
What outraged many people was hearing Jackson talk about sharing his bed with young boys. After all, this was the same man who in 1993 paid more than $25 million to a boy who claimed the superstar abused him. Jackson had met the boy 2.5 years earlier. The 10-year-old was in the hospital, fighting for his life, riddled with cancer. He made a wish.
The TV in the room was on, and Michael Jackson was on. And he looked up, he said, "Can I meet Michael Jackson?" I said, yes, you could do that.
At that time, the boy's family thought he may only have weeks to live.
He had a 18-pound tumor in his stomach, and they'd had to take one of his kidneys out, splint out, and the cancer was spreading all over his lung.
He eventually recovered. And, like other boys, he would end up in the star's bedroom.
Piercing eyes, $1 million smile. He fits the Michael Jackson pattern.
Like some of Jackson's other young friends, this boy, from a troubled home with limited resources, was lavished with attention and gifts. And he says there was something else: pornography. The boy says he and his younger brother looked at porn on the internet with Michael Jackson.
The catalyst for this whole saga was the airing of the video.
Former sex crimes prosecutor Wendy Murphy.
That's when Michael Jackson was revealed to all of us as the guy who thought it was just lovely for men to sleep with boys. And it put Michael Jackson in a position of having to defend himself.
Prosecutors say that just before the film aired in the US, Jackson's team, desperate to control the damage, whisked the boy and his family to this exclusive 5-star resort in Miami. It was here, the boy says, that for the first time the superstar gave him wine, calling it Jesus juice.
A man who gives alcohol to a child, especially a child with a compromised immune system, is not someone who respects children. That's the type of person who's more likely to molest them, because he's not caring about them, he's trying to cause them harm.
On the private plane home, the boy says Jackson gave him wine again, in soda cans. The defense says Jackson never drank with the boy. Unthinkable. Just when the whole world was watching, The boy claims Jackson sexually abused him twice, putting his hand down the boy's pants and rubbing his private area. His younger brother claims he witnessed 2 other occasions of abuse when his brother was ping.
Is probably why Michael Jackson chose that period of time to molest the child. He knew he would be insulated from prosecution because what law enforcement official would ever take on a case where the child who's accusing him only 2 weeks earlier was in a video claiming Michael Jackson had never touched him and was the best guy on the planet?
The mother says she was never told about the abuse. But one night, in a 4 a.m. phone call from Michael Jackson's bedroom, she says her son confided that he and Jackson had been drinking Jesus juice.
When she heard about the liquor and her son drinking wine, that was the trigger that changed everything in her mind as to whether Michael Jackson was or wasn't their best friend.
Prosecuted hundreds of child sex cases and never had the kind of corroborative evidence the prosecution has here. And I'm talking about fingerprints on pornography, Michael Jackson giving the child alcohol.
He was dying. Why would he molest him? Would you? Nobody would. A sick child? No.
And his mother, in fact, has said, I know for sure, 100%, he's not guilty because he loves children. He would never do this. And the truth is, those people don't know. They weren't there. Child abuse doesn't happen in front of witnesses. They really can't be in a position to know. And mothers love their sons. I'm sure Mrs. Jackson loves her son, and she wants desperately to believe that it's not true.